Alright, this is going to be a very hastily made video. I'm recording it off my phone, and I just got some stuff to talk about because I don't see too many people on YouTube talking about this. I've seen discussion online elsewhere, but I want a nice video to lay this out. So, recently, Ichiro Oda announced that One Piece is 80% complete. And this is not the first time that he's given a percentage of the story being done. And every time he's done it in the past, it's been proven to just be outlandish. Like, no, that's not true. Come on. So when I first heard this one, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not 80% done. And a lot of people online are echoing those sentiments. Like, yeah, no, it's not 80% done. There's way more of the story left. But then I was watching this video where this guy was reporting it, and he was kind of like, I forgot the name of the YouTuber, but he was kind of presenting it as like fact, like, guys, One Piece is coming to an end, it's 80% done, blah blah blah, and everyone in the comments like, oh my god, it's over, it's over. And that really got me thinking, like, is this right or not? And I came to the conclusion that I don't think it's that crazy, and honestly, it might be around 80% done. And the first thing I want to address is when people hear that One Piece is 80% done, for some reason a lot of people start saying, oh yeah, so we got about 2 to 3 years left. Well, no, I mean, if you do the math, which this isn't too crazy of a calculation, I did it on this piece of paper. One Piece has been around for 21 years thus far. Just as of a couple weeks ago, or maybe even last week, it's been 21 years. So 21 years divided by 0.80 to get the full estimated time of One Piece, which would be 26.25 years, meaning there are 5.25 years left of One Piece. Now, a lot of people are estimating, oh yeah, 7 to 10 years left, so 5.25 might be a little low, but I think it seems a lot more reasonable than 2 to 3. I can see 5.25 and say like, oh, maybe it is going to be 5.25. Personally, I'd maybe guess 6 years left, but I don't think it's that crazy of an estimate. And I see a lot of people online also saying that no, like, definitely not. There's way more time. Like, after Wano, I saw this one guy on Reddit say that there's going to be some more like Thriller Bark style arcs where they just show up somewhere, have an adventure, meet some people. But I think I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think the time for those standalone type adventures that don't further the overall plot and endgame of One Piece, the time for that is done. We are totally in endgame mode right now, and especially after Wano. Once Wano ends, I estimate it's just going to go straight into endgame. And a lot of people predict, and I think this is an accurate prediction, that after Wano is going to be Elbaf, but I think Elbaf is going to be the beginning of the endgame part of the story, and I don't think Elbaf on its own is going to be like a 2-year epic grand story arc. Rather, it's going to be more of a Zou style arc, a little bit longer probably, but more of a Zou style arc with just setting up pieces that are going to funnel into the end game. So I drew out a little map to see if this was reasonable, and I definitely think it is reasonable to finish in about 5.25 to 6 years, 5.5, 6 years, to get to that 80% mark. All right, I want to come back in because I feel like I didn't do too well of a job explaining this in the actual recording. So 5.25 years from now would be 2019, half through 2019, half through 2020. That'd be 2, 3, 4, 5.25 would be most of 2023. So let's just say the end of 2023. The 80% estimate would be about here. So in the video I explain Wano. Well, I'll just put the fucking clip in the video in right here. So 2018, so this is half of 2018. This is when Wano starts. And a big One Piece arc like Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, Skypiea, big One Piece arcs tend to be about 2 years long. So, I just estimate Wano just 2.5 years. I don't even know if Wano is going to be that long. A lot of people think it's going to be by far and away the longest arc in One Piece, but I can honestly see it be, 75 to 100 chapters between the Whole Cake Island and Dressrosa length. And I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being the longest arc, but I don't think it's quite the guarantee that some people make it out to be. But let's just have this comfortable estimate that Wano will run all the way through 2020. So that's 2.5 years of Wano. Okay, so this is the part that I need to explain, though, is that let's just say Elbaf is half a year. I honestly think Elbaf will be half a year, but you know, some people are going to say Elbaf will be a full year. In that case, then yeah, this estimate's wrong, but Elbaf half a year. Let's just say that for the sake of this prediction, it's half a year. That would be 2.5 years left for the rest of the story. So it does seem a little short thinking about it. Like 2.5 years to wrap up the series is about 100 chapters. Is 2.5 years, but we'll see. I want to count out the chapters to see. We're about at 9 some. Like let's just say 9:15. All right, here's another place where I feel like I didn't do a good job in the video. Is instead of thinking of 80% as in time-wise, thinking of it as within chapter-wise. And I forgot how I fucking did these calculations, but I think I did. He does about 39 chapters per year now, so that's where this 39 comes from. Times 5.25, which is the time estimate of the number that I got from the time estimate, would be about 204 chapters he'd get done in 5.25 years, plus the current chapter, which is 912, which I just looked up, is 1116.75. So let's say 1117. Kind of a little short, but it's not crazy. I think the series anywhere between 1100 and 1200 chapters is reasonable. I think this is a little short though. So maybe the time estimate is a little short, but let's just consider the raw chapter estimate. There's been 912 chapters divided by 80%. So this would estimate 1140 chapters of One Piece minus this 912, the current chapter, 228 chapters left. And if he were to do 39 chapters a year, that would be about 5.84 years. So like, as I was saying, 5.5 to 6 years left of One Piece, which is within that 75 to 80% range. I think, again, even if you look at this by chapters, that range is reasonable. Again, around 80%. If you think it's strictly 80%, that is a little short, but as I'm showing here, a little short. It's just a little short. If you start to play around with the numbers a bit, you can see that that's well within the ballpark. I definitely think the 80% estimate is somewhat reasonable. I think it's a lot more reasonable than people make it out to be. Personally, I'd probably say it's about like, I want to say 75% because I haven't done the calculation, but somewhere between 75 and 80% I seem is actually right. And I can see the series ending in 2024 with that big endgame arc. I think that's totally reasonable. And yeah, I really don't have much else to say about it. I definitely don't think there's going to be any in-between adventures between Wano and Endgame. I think it's going to go straight into that. And what makes this so hard to predict is that we don't know the flow of the story. Like, something could happen in Wano that would just push Endgame, like, immediately. And then, bam, we're right into Endgame. There's no buffer. There's no lead-up or anything. It's just straight into the endgame of the story. We don't know if something like that's going to happen. So it makes this really hard to predict. But I think this roadmap is somewhat reasonable. I don't think it's crazy. And I'm not saying that, oh, this is for sure the roadmap of the series. This is exactly what's going to happen. But, like, if this were to happen, yeah, I think this is reasonable. I think the 80% estimate is fair. I think it's fair. So maybe we should be taking this man a little bit more seriously with this estimate. But that's all I got to say today, and thanks for watching.